Good morning and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this Sunday morning. It is game day. It is game day. It is cold out there and it's still -8 in certain parts of the country. Anyway, we look to two players that are coming back and they'll be welcome back to the squad. Two players that are returning from injury. And then we're going to talk about two players that will be leaving Celtic. Speculation has been rife the past couple of weeks about David Turnbull, and the manager has finally broke his silence. He said David's contract is set to expire in the summer, with the former Motherwell player being linked, obviously, in recent days to Italy. Rogers, though, he's blasé about the whole thing. He said, "Look, if a player doesn't want to sign, he won't sign. I won't lose sleep over it," says Brendan Rodgers. There were talks back in the summer. I'm not sure how far they've gone, but clearly they've not gone as well as David or maybe his representatives have wanted. Either way, he's at the stage of his contract where he can choose whatever he wants to do and decide whether his prospects are better elsewhere. While he's here, he's committed, he's working, and he's running. He will always be a valuable asset to us. That tells you all you need to know about the reading between the lines. Brendan knows he's only a squad player here. He's a fantastic squad player. Some people like him, some people don't like him. He's fantastic at scoring goals from outside the box, if you ask me. But either way, it looks as if David Turnbull, and we have been speaking about it on this channel, and it looks like David Turnbull will go. If not the next window, he'll definitely go in the summer. So tell me what you think about that in the comments. Brendan Rodgers then went on to say, he said, "I know it's all about the players having short careers. This is an amazing club to be at," says Brendan. "We'll improve you as a player, you'll make good money, and you'll win titles. But if they feel they need to move, then they go. It's the modern game," said Brendan Rodgers. He said, "You adapt and you get on with it and you find your way again." And that's one thing that we've been speaking about. We have said that it's more than likely that he will be leaving. He will be leaving in the summer now. He was entered into contract talks like all the other players at the beginning of the year, and him and his representatives have decided it's not for them. The Celtic contract that was obviously on offer wasn't enough. Um, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Tell me in the comments. Do you think that we'll miss David Turnbull? Let's face it, he's not had much game time over the last couple of years due to the players that we've had in midfield already. But with Rio Hatate being out, and Rio Hatate, it has been confirmed, will miss the Glasgow Derby at the end of the month. So he won't be back until after the Asia Cup, which is a bit disappointing because David Turnbull, he's got a really important part to play in the team just now, and he's good at scoring goals from outside the box, like I said. So as long as he doesn't do anything too silly between now and the end of the season, keep him to the end of the season, or should we sell him for? Well, we're never going to get 7 million for him, like it's been said in some publications. It's never going to happen. But if we were to get 500 grand for David Turnbull, I think it'd be a great piece of business to get rid of him in this window, just to recoup some of that money that we did spend at Motherwell to get him. Anyway, there's another player that is out of contract at the end of the season, with the main question being which club, which country will he move to? At the age of 16, he was a regular starter in the B side in 21-22 season, and he was a fantastic player. Now, he is a fantastic player, and his dad was a fantastic player. His dad played for Celtic also. But Sampdoria have expressed an interest in Celtic forward Rocco Vata. Vata's current deal expires in the summer, we all know that. He hasn't signed a new deal. Celtic will get a compensation of around £343,000 for Rocco Vata if he signs a pre-contract agreement with them next month. It's understood that Celtic have made no contract offer to Vata. They haven't made a contract offer to Vata, so they either want him to be. Well, that says everything. If you look back to last summer, in fact, it wasn't. Um, I'm sure it was just a couple of weeks ago that Celtic rejected an offer from Torino. Anyway, it looks like one way or another he will go. Lazio, Verona, and Torino are all looking at Rocco Vata. It's another one that's going to slip through the net. And I mean, we have to get these young players into the team. Ben Doak, Rocco Vata. I mean, the list can go on of young players that have came through the ranks at Celtic. And maybe are they good enough? Are they good enough? Or is it the fact Is it the fact that we don't want to play the young players because we feel that there's too much at stake on a weekly basis? The manager comes in. And remember, the last time that we played youngsters on an ongoing basis was probably under Martin O'Neill, which was 23 years ago, and that we consistently brought youngsters through into the team. Now it's kind of been drip fed, and after the last couple of seasons, there's not really been anyone that's came through. It's disappointing. It is disappointing for us as fans when you see these players coming through the system. You want them to be the next Kieran Tierney. You know, you want them to come through and have that affiliation with the club that they love. Well, maybe Rocco Vata doesn't love the club. It's a bit the same with Turnbull. I mean, let's face it, Turnbull's not a Celtic supporter. He came through Motherwell when he was younger, and let them move on. Let them move on. Anyway, we get back to some good news, some good Celtic news this morning. Yes, we do have some good Celtic news. And if you're still watching the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Two stars that are close to a return are obviously Dyson Maida and Leila Bada. They are stepping up their preparation to return to action for Celtic over the next couple of weeks. Brendan Rodgers obviously we move on from the Champions League completely. As like Brendan says, look, you take it on the chin for 24 hours, you have that morbid thought of we could have done better and everything, but then it's back to business. Maida suffered a knee ligament injury when he got red carded against Atletico Madrid. The less we talk about that, the better. We just move on. And Lila Bada, well, the Japanese international, the 26-year-old, is stepping up his return to get back to action. Lila Bada, he's been out since he signed pretty much a new contract. The 22-year-old is now getting back to with his recovery after last playing for Celtic in the Glasgow Derby that we won 1-0. Yes, remember that. Yes, when they thought they were going to win, when we had no fans at Ibrox and we still win. And that put us top of the league looking down on the Rangers, and that was back on the 3rd of September. Leila Bada and Maida, their return is going to be so important over the next run of games. Abada has played 5 times this season. He has had 1 goal and 1 assist. And he did sign that new contract, a 4-year contract. So let's put to bed speculation that Abada's going to leave because of the Green Brigade. No, he's not. He's not going to leave because of the Green Brigade. And I think if he's going to go, he'll go next summer for big money. But he won't leave at this window. That's for definite. Maida's racked up 17 appearances this season, registered 2 goals and only 3 assists. Only 3 assists from a winger. Is that good enough for Dyson Maida? He is the Duracell bunny in the Celtic team. He can run and he can run and he can run. But with only 3 assists in 17 games, he's also he's got a long-term contract, also taking him to 2027 after putting in that new deal that he got in the summer. So let's face it, the two of them are coming back. They're going to be important players in the team. Will they manage to get Yang and Lewis Palmer out of the team? That is the big one. That is the big question. That is the big question over the next couple of weeks that Brendan will have to look at. And talking about Lewis Palmer, Lewis Palmer is in agreement with Brendan Rodgers over Brendan's comments about quality needed in the squad. Lewis Palmer admitted that it's tough to argue with Brendan Rodgers. When you look at the Champions League, when Duran player said that, look, competing in European club football's premier competition for the first time, he endured more lows than highs to date. And let's face it, Rodgers believes that there's more experience needed. And Palmer said, look, he's of the similar mind. It's not too difficult because the manager's right, said the winger. We have to listen to him. We have to improve as players. We need to learn from him. We have to improve the next time that we are in the Champions League if we want to show that. Without doubt, we can improve. I can say that our group can improve next season to have better results, said Palmer. Palmer was suspended, obviously, for the Lazio game that made sure we're not going to get any European football after Christmas. Whilst he was disappointed, he says, look, from the first game against Feyenoord, I feel that I've learned a lot from what the gaffer has told us. So I feel that there's a lot to improve on. Also, Lewis Palmer went on and said, hopefully there'll be still more to come from me as a player. Without doubt, we can improve as a team in the Champions League. And I can say that the group can improve and we can start with better results. We obviously return to action today and Sunday. It is St Johnstone away. St Johnstone away is always a good game. It's always a difficult game, but it's a game that we can pretty much say that if we play right, we can win. But it's going to be difficult because they're going to set up basically 4-5-1 or something. You know, they're going to sit back for the majority of the game, especially with the manager that they have in place now. So tell me what you think of The big news of the day, the big transfer news, obviously the contract that was rejected by David Turnbull. David Turnbull rejecting that contract offer that was made to him. He obviously feels, and look, he's never had much game time over the last couple of years under Ange. So when you look at it, why sit around and just be a squad player unless your name's Scott Bain or James McCarthy. So, and then Rocco Vata, we always knew that this one was going to happen. We knew that Rocco Vata was going to walk away for free. It is disappointing, but we have to just get on with it. We have to get on with it. We have to at Celtic. Instead of bringing these players in at 20-year-old and 22-year-old prospect players, if we have prospect players in our own academy, Celtic, bring them through and get them into that first team and make them better and sell them. Because let's face it, rather than going out and spending $3 million on a prospect player, you've got a player that's came through the academy, turn that academy player into a 10, 15, oh, wait a minute, 25 million player like Kieran Tierney. Anyway, on that note, tell me what you think about the score, what you think the score will be today. I am going to my local pub to watch the game. At last, I'm going back to a boozer to watch the game. On that note, have a fantastic day, Celtic fans all.
Lit. Roll up to the party, roll up